Hi everyone. Well, this week's video is going to be a little bit different. That's partly because we don't have a van. We dropped our van off to get a roadworthy certificate on Wednesday last week, and the mechanic found a few things that need doing, including we need new disc rotors. That should have been a relatively straightforward thing. He's got the parts in stock. Then he discovered that he couldn't get the rotors off because of a huge nut that he didn't have a socket to fit. So then he's ordered that, and the van's sitting in his workshop waiting for that socket to come in so that he can change the disc rotors and then issue us a roadworthy certificate. And the reason we need that is because we need one of those so that we can transfer the van over from South Australian registration to Victorian registration. We need to do that fairly soon because the South Australian registration runs out. I have an appointment next week at Vic Roads to get that done. So this week's video is a little bit different because I don't have a van to work on. I've lost a week now, or tomorrow, because it's Wednesday again tomorrow. But thought I would show you a little bit around my workshop and what I've got to work with, and some things that have come in that are ready for me to install on the van when I get it back. So and when I get that far on the process. So here's what I'm going to show you. Four of these sliding windows, two different sizes, so two pairs, one pair to go at the back of the van where the bed is, and one pair to go at the front, one in the sliding door and one in the wall opposite that, which will give us the ability to set up a cross-flow ventilation. It's got a sliding window with a fly screen integrated. Living in Australia, got to have fly screens. I've ordered windows that are ADR tint legal, so shouldn't have any issues. You can probably get away with it even if they're not in a motorhome, but just to be on the safe side and so I don't run into any issues. So just a simple lever catch and then a slide. Also got a couple of Max air fans. Haven't had these open yet, so let's open one up and have a look. Okay, so the good thing with the Max air fan, a couple of good things. One is you can have the fan running and either pulling air in or pushing air out of the vehicle, even when it's raining. So having two, you can set one up to push and the other to pull, and then you can create a cross flow that way. So there's the fan. That's how it operates even when it's closed. It's got the vented section at the back here. So you fly screen, fan, So looking forward to installing these. Now this is the back, front over here. And as you can see, you can open and close the vent even when it's not powered. So it comes with a internal, whatever you call that thing, internal trim, I suppose, which you can cut down to suit the thickness of your ceiling. So, looking forward to getting those installed. Obviously can't do it till I have a van back. Thought I'd show you the workbench, which I basically made specifically for this project. I have a DeWalt contractor's 10-inch contractor's table saw. You've seen me using that already with a fence which is removable. Gives me the ability to rip, and the workbench obviously acts as an outfeed table, so I can rip sheets and long stock, and it's supported as it comes off the back of the saw. Next to the table saw, you can see a little hole there. That's my trim router, is mounted under there, so I can raise it up through the bench. You'll be able to see. So it's just a little Ryobi trim router. So release the catch and then lift it up to the appropriate height and lock it off. And I've set it there so that I can put the fence on the table saw the wrong way around, and then bring the fence of the table saw over to act as a fence for the trim router as well. And then I can clamp sacrificial pieces to that if I need to get it in right close to the bit. But that's going to enable me to feed pieces through without having to hand hold the router. So sometimes it's better to hand hold it, sometimes it's better to bring the work to the router rather than the router to the work. So it gives me a bit more flexibility in that regard. So looking forward to making use of that. Next to the router station is the miter saw, which again you've seen me using that if you've watched my other videos. And so the miter saw lives under the bench, but when I want to use it, I can pull these pins out. It's probably too dark, you probably can't see it, but pull these two pins out and the miter saw flips over, ready for use. And it sits nice and flush when it's properly pinned in place, and then rotates away again out of the way, so I've got a clear workbench when I want to use it as a workbench. So I'm finding the workbench a great workspace. It's really good. The other thing that I particularly made for this project is my cyclone dust collection. So that connects up to the ducted vacuum system in the house, but the feed from the table saw or whatever tool I'm using comes in through here. The dust settles out into the bottom bucket, and then the vacuum connects to here and takes mostly clean air out. It works extremely well, and as you can see, it's mostly cobbled together with bits and pieces I had lying around, a couple of old buckets and bits and pieces. I did have to get a few PVC fittings and some I've got some pull vacuum pipe to act as my vacuum pipe. Over in this corner is my drill press, and I have made a table for that, which uses micro jig dovetail clamps and dovetail fittings to enable me to set a stop and or clamp pieces, work pieces to the bench for drilling without them going flying. So the dovetail clamps look like this. Here's one, and probably pretty hard to see, but it has a dovetail shape in it, and so it slides into the slot like so, and then you clamp your piece of work down and away you go. So I plan to cut some more dovetails into the workbench. Once I've been working with it for a bit and I figure out where I want them, I can cut some dovetails into the workbench and use the dovetail clamps on the workbench as well when I'm assembling cabinets or whatever, just to give me a good firm fixing point. So it's quite a flexible system. I also have a cross-cut sled for the table saw, which utilises dovetail fittings as well. So it gives me the versatility of using those tools and fittings in multiple locations and at multiple times. So looking forward to getting stuck into all of those things as I get further into the van build. So that's probably it for this video. Not much else I can do at the moment without having the van here, other than planning and possibly ordering some more stuff, but I really need to install some of the things I've already ordered and have on hand before I go about ordering too much more, spending too much more on bits and pieces that will then end up cluttering up my garage until I get them fitted. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and enjoying the series. If you did, please like and subscribe, and put any questions or comments down in the comments section down below. I'll be pleased to answer questions and comments and criticisms. It's all fair game. Pleased to have you along for the ride. So until next time.